Good afternoon and Ramadan Mubarak. It is the 19th day of March. Thank you so much for joining us on News Now, where we tell you all the stories that are making headlines by now, and it starts now with the highlights. KU students confirmed dead as 7 who are critically injured have been airlifted to Nairobi. William Ruto signs the affordable housing bill into law. And Interior CS insists on police transfers after every 3 years.
Every officer who has served for more than 3 years in one station must leave.
Welcome back to this live broadcast. My name is Hibak Said. To start us off, Kenyatta University victims have been airlifted to Nairobi for intensive treatment by the university administration after the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Paul Wainaina, visited the victims in Moi County Referral Hospital in Voi, Taita Taveta. Speaking to journalists in Moi Hospital, Taita Taveta County, Governor Andrew Mwadime has announced not to charge any cost for attending to the victims. Governor Mwadime has applauded on the striking doctors for attending to the victims and helping to save their lives. He has also called on drivers to be more cautious while driving. Kenyatta University is making effort to refer all victims to Nairobi, where some have been airlifted to Nairobi and others will be taken on road. On the same note, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has raised concerns over the increase in road fatalities in the country, with recent accidents involving Kenyatta University school bus where 11 students have lost their lives. Speaking during the official opening of the Kisumu West Deputy County Commissioners Complex, Kindiki noted that the deaths from road accidents are competing with those of serious epidemics, adding that road accidents are becoming a menace in the country. Kindiki also noted that in 2023, Kenya had 3,900 road fatalities, while in the year 2022, 4,600 people died from the accidents, and according to NTSA, from January to February of 2024, road accidents across the country have claimed 649 lives.
Nimesema ajali za barabarani, wale watu wetu ambao tunapoteza barabarani, zimekuwa nyingi katika taifa letu la Kenya. Tumepoteza watu wengi. Mwaka uliopita tulipoteza watu 3,900, 3,900. Mwaka uliotangulia 2022 tulipoteza watu 4,600. Kila mwaka takriban watu 4,000 wanakufa kwa sababu ya ajali za barabarani. And therefore, I have had a discussion this morning with my counterpart, the Cabinet Secretary for Transport. And between us, the National Police Service Traffic Department and the National Transport Safety Agency, NTSA, we must come with a program to rein in on the problem of road traffic accidents, enforce the law, and make sure that we bring down the numbers of our people that we are losing every year through road traffic accidents.
Now let's move to Nakuru County, where internally displaced persons camping at Donga Farm Subuke in Nakuru County have called on President William Ruto to speed up their resettlement process to enable them to settle and carry out meaningful development on their piece of land. Chichi Josephine tells us more.
Over a decade now since the post-election violence in 2008, internally displaced people camping at Donga Farm Subukia in Nakuru County are still languishing in poverty. Speaking to TV47, the IDPs alleged that due to limited access to the piece of land, residents are not allowed to farm the land as their crops have been destroyed by their neighbors who have allegedly rejected their resettlement.
Miaka 14 hata kama ijakuwa ni kufugwa tumefugwa. Tungekuwa Sasa hii tumemaliza kifungo na tumetoka jela, tumekuja kulima huko, hata mtu arudia kazi zake. Hii ni kama serikali ilikuja kututupa hapa, ilikuja kututupa na itukumbuki. Saa hii shamba unaona imekaa tu hivi. Ukienda kuguza kidogo, ng'ombe zinakuja zinavamia. Ukienda kuguza kidogo, shamba ni ya serikali, si yenu, mtarudi mahali mlitoka. Sasa sisi turudi tuende wapi?
They also decried rising cases of insecurity on the farm in what they interpret as an attempt to drive them away from the farm.
Ni kama tuko kwa shamba, tuko na tension. Kuna wakati walitutumia hata watu wabuduki. Watu wabuduki hapa Kabii wanakuja kuiba nini? Ni batisho wale wenye shamba wanaleta hawa watu ili
The IDPs allege harassment by the local administration whenever they seek services such as burial permits, an issue that has forced them to bury their family members in shallow graves on a section of the farm.
Kibaki alisema tupate mashamba sisi waathiriwa. Sasa sisi tukabahatika hapa. Tukaletwa hapa. Kuletwa hapa mpaka saa hii leo. Hatuna chochote, hatuna mashamba, hatuna makazi. Watu wamekufa, tumezika pale mnaona ile kitu nyeupe huko. Hiyo ndio kaburi.
Toka juzi tumejua pesa imeallocatiwa na mambo yamesimama kwa minister. Tunauliza minister anakataa na kwa nini kukubali kishamba ikuje ikatwe? Na serikali ilinunua shamba na ikatununulia na ikatutoa kwa kambi ikatuleta hapa.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Thank you, Chichi Josephine. Frida Boyani Mokaya has been appointed as the new Chief Registrar. Boyani will serve in the position for a 5-year term. Judicial Service Commission settled on Mokaya after interviewing 7 candidates who had been shortlisted for the position that fell vacant after the retirement of Anna Madi on January 12, 2024. 43 candidates had applied for the advertised position, and on Monday, the 7 shortlisted candidates faced the JSC interview panel. 8 out of 11 members voted for Mokaya as the next Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. Moving on, Kenyans will from this month continue paying the housing levy with a 1.5% tax from both the employer and the employee after President William Ruto this morning assented to the Affordable Housing Bill at a ceremony held at State House in the capital. Ruto acknowledged the courts for their challenge to the bill's implementation during the ceremony, adding that certain individuals who had previously been excluded were now included and will make contributions to the fund. Employees in the informal sector are now included in the new legislation in order to comply with the High Court's decision from the previous year, which declared the previous legislation illegal. The bill now has revisions involving county governments and involvement after being approved by the Senate and the National Assembly last week.
Many people have been asking us, what happened to your mama mboga? What happened to your boda boda? I want to tell them, our boda boda and our mama mboga are family in our equation. This program will make it possible for a mama mboga who today pays rent at 3,000 to pay 3,000 and own a home in Kenya. It will give a chance to a boda guy and every hustler in Kenya who today lives in a shack that has no water, that has no electricity, that has no access, that has no sanitation. It's going to dignify their lives, and they too, like the rest of society, can own a home. And that is why I'm very happy Meshach is part of our plan as a simple plumber, that he also is looking forward to owning a home in a decent place like all other Kenyans.
This morning, Your Excellency, clears the path for dignifying our people by giving them shelter and again for creating employment for our young people.
I think that is extremely important, that the whole journey to providing housing, decent housing, affordable housing to the Kenyan people is now not fiction, but it's a fact that is being undertaken.
Right now, Your Excellency, we have over 120,000 young men and women working in these sites. We anticipate, Your Excellency, that by the time the balance of 48,000 units is put in place, Your Excellency, we should be having close to 300,000 young men and women working at our sites.
Na kwa hivyo tukaongezea kipengele kingine ya kusema 1 KRA pin 1 house. Kwa hivyo utaweza kuchukua zaidi ya nyumba moja. Na juu ya hayo pia Senate wakamake amendment ambao tulikubaliana nayo kama National Assembly ya kwamba hautaweza kuuza hiyo nyumba even after buying it. So that this prevents people wale ambao wanaweza enda kwa kijiji wachukue watu wa bodaboda na wengine wachukue pin certificate zao wanunue nyumba alafu waweze kutransfer back to themselves.
5 people have passed away with 18 others sustaining injuries after a 14-seater passenger van rammed a tractor in the Kimugul area along the Olongoruini-Silibwet Road in Bomet County. According to the survivors, the van was overspeeding and was carrying more than 20 people. In addition, the passenger van was fixed twice as they traveled. This accident occurred in a space of time where other accidents across the country, such as the Kapsabet Boys bus crashing, as well as the Grizzly Kenyatta University bus road accident.
Nilianza Keringet kuelekea Silibwet. Sasa tukakucha vizuri mpaka tukafika mahali naitwa Mkango. Kuna mteremko hapo. Sasa hiyo Nissan ilikuwa imepepa kupepa. Sasa ilikuwa imeload vitu, mahindi na passenger pia ilikuwa excess. Sasa tuka approach hiyo mteremko kuelekea mtoni. Sasa gari ikaanza sasa mwendo ile mbaya na kuyumba. Punde si punde ikaanguka.
Vile tulifika Kiptagich, hiyo gari ilikuwa na shida ya haikuwa inanyonya mafuta vizuri. Wakaita mtu wa kushughulikia hiyo gari. Wakaishughulikia na tukatoka within 15 minutes. Tukakuja vizuri all the way from Kiptagich to Masese. Alafu kuna mama na mtoto alishukishwa Masese na tukaanza kuteremka. Vile tuliteremka, hii gari haikuwa nakimbia sana kwa msituni. Vile tumepita Masese karibu Mogango, ndio hii gari ikaanza kukimbia. Ilikuwa inafuata Nissan nyingine ya black Ome Travelers, ndio nikastukia sasa tumelala chini.
According to our preliminary investigations, all point to a human error.
All right, as the news continues to stream in, we go for a very short break. We'll be right back. Don't go too far.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nissan kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus nikoniwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking.
Nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
To finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus nikoniwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee, soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Thank you so much for keeping it TV47, your home of untold stories. We continue with news. Kenyans have expressed different reactions after President William Ruto assented the affordable housing levy into law. Residents from Machakos County have appreciated the move, terming it as a game changer to poor living conditions. Now, however, Kenyans have continuously raised concerns on how the government will issue out the houses. The move is expected to take action despite the efforts made to prevent the bill from becoming law in the courts.
Kujenga nyumba hii housing levy yenye president amepitisha si mbaya, watu wajenge manyumba waishi huko, lakini sisi kama raia wenye tuko hapa chini tunatoa pesa ya kulipa housing levy wapi? Kitu ya pili, president, hizi nyumba zikishajengwa sisi kama raia hapa chini wenye hatujaajiriwa tutaziakwaya aje? How sure that hizi nyumba tutaziakwaya ama itakuwa ile design ya mortgage yenye uwezi ingia mpaka ukuwe na kiasi fulani ya pesa na ile 1,100. Bwana Ebu President, hii mswada umeifinya ni mzuri, lakini saa hii kwa sasa sisi wenye tuko hapa chini tuambie tutasaidika vipi?
Mimi kwa maoni yangu, hii mswada rais ameweka saini sio maana juu kulingana na wenye vile ilikuwa imeanza kupingwa kutoka kitambo, haingekubalika juu hizo. Hata akiweka saini, hizi nyumba itasaidia watu wachache, si wengi, si watu kila mtu atasafaidika kwa hizi manyumba. Itabidi wale wakubwa, wale wakuu huko juu ndio watasaidika nayo, ikiwa wanaenda wanachukua pesa wananunua wanaishi huku vizuri, lakini wale wako chini hawatafaidika.
Now let's get sporty. 19 local drivers will participate in the WRC Safari Rally, which also doubles up as the second round of the 2024 Kenya National Rally Championships. The race will zoom off on the 28th of this month and end 3 days later. Veteran driver Carl Flash Tundo will lead the Kenya contingent in the competition, which will be held during the Easter holiday. Now, Tundo will be navigated by Team Jesop in their Ford Fiesta R2, issue. Other drivers are national champion Jasmeet Chana, Karan Patel of KCB Racing Team, Isa Amwari, Pauline Shegu, Tinashe Gatimu, and Hamza Anwar. The race will take place in Nairobi and Nakuru counties, and with the expected rains, fans can expect a very interesting rally.
It's a little bit lagging. The car is almost ready. We'll test it throughout the week, this week. And then we start recce on Monday, so it's come up pretty quickly. The preparations are good. I've been using another car to try and just get hone my driving skills, but actually getting in the car will be the first time will be this week at some stage.
We have brought in also a lady. You remember when we were started initially, we had also a lady driver, because we always value the talent of the boy child and of the girl child, and we always like to treat them the same, and that is why we have increased the number so that we have a representation across board, men and women.
I'm hoping it'll be wet. That's always an advantage to us guys here. Our surfaces are completely different to sort of wet surfaces in around the world. So it would be nice to have a really wet rally, sort of the whole rally being wet. That would be the only slight advantage we have. Other than that, it's nice to be racing the safari at Easter again. It's what we used to do.
Elsewhere, the national under-20 football team Rising Stars is currently playing their under-19 counterparts in a friendly match at Kasarani Annex in this county, Nairobi County. Rising Stars are preparing for the Four Nations tournament, which will be held in Lilongwe, Malawi, starting next weekend. The friendly game is being attended by the Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba, who will also flag off the team ahead of their departure along with the senior squad Harambee Stars.
Achievement, kitu ya kwanza, hakuna football utaka kulose. Najua inaenda kuwa tough tournament juu maybe hatujui our opponents venye wako, but mimi na feel tuko well prepared to face anyone who comes before us.
And here from TV47, it's good luck to the Rising Stars. Moving on, Harambee Starlets defender Kiki Masika has urged talented ladies to not shy away from the sport and instead showcase their prowess. Kiki describes her football journey as a miracle, as the game has helped her achieve some of her dreams. Last Sunday, she guided Dagoretti Mix to victory in the Nairobi Chapa Dimba finals at Dandora Stadium.
Mimi ball as a person imenifanya nimecheza national team 3 times. Nimeenda nje, nimeenda Angola nikiwa under 20. So unaona imenipea opportunity ya kuexplore, kwenda nje places zenye sijawahi enda. Na pia nimepata do kutumia ball. Naweza ambia dem mdogo ball inalipa. Na ball ni kitu poa, by the way. Unaweza ifanya kama job, ikuwe na kupatia kipato ya kulisha familia yako.
And on that very high note, we conclude this live bulletin. Thank you so much for being a part of News Now on TV47. We always love your company. Of course, we will give you details on those stories